everyone, welcome to my channel Data Universe. Here you will find practical SQL tutorials, tips on mastering SQL for data analytics. Let's start and grow together. Calculate a rolling average of stock price for 3 months. The 3-month average of stock price is widely used metric in financial analysis and investment decision makings. The 3-month rolling average provides a smooth view of stock price movement, filter out short-term noise and help in identifying underlying trends. We have stock table which has stock date and stock price column, and in the output it is expected to calculate rolling average of stock price for 3 months. As there are multiple entries for the same month, we first need to aggregate stock prices by month. For that we will use extract function to extract month from the stock date, and we will use average aggregate function to get average stock price for each month. Then to get rolling average for 3 months, we will define rolling window using rows between. Let's solve this problem using MySQL workbench. I have created PDF of this practical which you can refer and practice. Link is provided in the description. I have created table stock and I have inserted some values in it. This is a table which has stock date and stock price columns. As there are multiple values for the same month, we first need to calculate average stock price for each month. For that we will use extract function which is used to get year, month, day, quarter, hours, minutes from date or any date time column. Then we will use average aggregate function to get average stock price for each month. The statement is select extract month from stock date as month, average stock price as monthly stock price from stock group by month, order by month. Let's execute this statement. In this way, we got average stock price for each month. Let's validate this value for month 1. For month 1, there are 4 values: 100 plus 120 plus 110 plus 100 is equal to 430 divided by 4, which will give 107.5. In this way, it has calculated average stock price for each month. Next, we have to calculate rolling average for 3 months. To simplify query and make it more readable, we will use common table expression here. We will put above query inside CTE and then we will call CTE. To define rolling window, we will use rows between, which will include 2 rows before it, that is previous 2 months and current row, and over order by month, which will help to specify the order in which the rows are processed, here based on the month. Then the average window function is used to compute the average stock price within the rolling window. Before proceeding further, let's understand rows between in detail. The rows between clause in SQL is used within window functions such as sum, average, row number to define the range of rows over which the function should operate. This allows you to perform calculations over a subset of rows either relative to current row or within a specific range. Syntax of rows between is window function over order by column name, rows between start range and end range. Rows between clause is used to calculate cumulative sum, rolling averages and sum, ranking and percentiles. Let's see common keywords used in rows between. Unbounded preceding. It includes all rows from the start of the partition up to the current row. N preceding, which includes n rows before the current row. Current row includes the current row. M following includes n rows after the current row. Unbounded following, which includes all the rows from the current row to the end of the partition. So depending on the use case, we will select either unbounded preceding, n preceding, m following or unbounded following. In our case, we need to calculate 3-month rolling average, which includes two previous rows and current row. Therefore, two preceding and current row is used. Here we have defined window as rows between two preceding and current row. As we want this to be order by month and average function, which will give average of this monthly stock price. Let's execute this statement. It shows rolling average for 3 months. For month 1, as there is no prior month available, so the rolling average is just month 1 stock price. Month 2 includes month 1 and 2, that is 107.5 plus 120 divided by 2, which is 113.75. Month 3 includes month 1, 2, 3, that is 107.5 plus 120 plus 125 divided by 3, which is 117.5. Month 4 includes month 2, 3, 4, that is 120 plus 125 plus 110 divided by 3, which is 118.33. And month 5 includes month 3, 4, 5, that is 125 plus 110 plus 125 divided by 3, which is 120. In this way, by using rows between clause, we can find out rolling averages for any given months. Calculate year-over-year growth in revenue. Here is the sales table, which contains item types, order date, and total revenue columns. Year-over-year growth in revenue is a critical metric for businesses, investors, and analysts because it provides a clear picture of performance trends over time. Year-over-year growth highlights whether a company revenue is consistently increasing, decreasing, or stagnant over successive years. We will solve this problem step by step. First, we will calculate total revenue for each year using sum and group by function. Then, we will calculate previous year revenue by using lag window function. Next, we will use year-over-year growth percentage formula, that is current year revenue minus previous year revenue divided by previous year revenue. So let's solve this problem step by step in the practical. This is sales table, which has item times, order date, and total revenue. Total, we have 10 records in this table. I have created PDF of this practical. The link you will get in the description, which you can refer and practice. Let's start. First, we will calculate total revenue for each year. For that, we need to get year from order date. To get that, we will use extract function. Then we will use sum aggregate function and group by to get total revenue for each year. So the statement is select extract year from order date as years, sum of total revenue as current year revenue from cells, group by years, order by years. Let's execute this statement. In this way, we got total revenue for each year. Next, we need to calculate previous year revenue. For that, we will use lag window function. Whenever we want to retrieve the value of a column from previous row, we will use lag function. And when we want to retrieve the value of a column from next row, then we will use lead function. Here we want to get previous year cell. For that we will use lag function. The syntax of lag window function is expression offset default over partition by column name, order by column name. Here the expression is the column or a value to retrieve from a previous row, and offset specifies how many rows before the current one to look. Default value is 1, that is immediately preceding rows, and optional is specifies a value to return if there is no preceding rows. Default value is null, and over clause specifies the window of rows to consider. Partition by divides the data into partition for independent calculation, which is optional, and order by determines the order of rows in the window. Let's see how we can use these lag functions to get previous year revenue. To simplify query and to make it more readable, we will use CTE, that is common table expression. We will put above query in CTE and we will call CTE with lag function. With clause is used. Here we have to specify CTE name, and I have given above query inside this CTE. Next we will use lag window function, as we want to get previous row from current year revenue column and we want offset of 1. Therefore, lag current year revenue, comma 1 over order by years as previous year revenue from CTE. Let's execute this statement. Now you can see lag function fetches the previous row. 2021 there is no previous year, therefore the value is null. For 2022 previous year's revenue is 9,000. For 2023 previous year revenue is 10,000, and for 2024 previous year revenue is 8,000. If you want to replace this default value null into 0, we have to mention third parameter 0 here. Let's execute this statement again. It replace null with 0. Now we got current year revenue and previous year revenue. Next we will use year over year formula to get the final result. To simplify query, we will put previous year revenue in another CTE. CTE will have current year revenue, whereas CTE1 will have previous year revenue. In the main statement, we will call CTE1. Then we will use year over year formula, that is current year revenue minus previous year revenue divided by previous year revenue. This will give year over year growth. As we want this in percentage, we will multiply this with 100. Let's execute this statement. Here we got year over year growth percentage. To make this result up to 2 decimal, we will use round function. And we want 2 decimal, therefore 2. Execute this statement again. In this way, year over year growth for year 2022 is increased by 11.11%, and for the year 2023 it is decreased by 20%, and for the year 2024 it is increased by 62.5%. How to split full name column into first name and last name columns in SQL. Here cricketer players table is given which has full name and country column, and in the output it is expected to split this full name column into first name and last name columns. We will use different string functions to get this output like length, instr and substring. So let's see in the practical. This is cricket players table. Here in the full name, first name and the last name is separated by space. So we need to get the position of this space to split this column into first name and last name. To get that, we will use instr function which returns the position of first occurrence of character or a substring within a given string. Therefore, select full name in str full name, comma, space from cricket players. This will give position of first space in a given string. So let's execute this statement. We got position of space as 766. The first name Sachin Tendulkar, the position of space is 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In this way it got position of space in every string. Now we will use substring function which returns a string with a specified length starting from a location in an input string. Syntax is substring, input string, starting position and the length. To get first name from full name, we will use substring full name, comma 1 which indicates starting position and in str full name space which will give position of space in a given string. So let's execute this statement. As you can see, it has extracted only first name from full name. In this way, by using instr, we can get the position of space which we can use as a length in a substring to get substring from a given string. Next is we want to get last name from full name. For that we will use select everything substring full name, comma in str full name, comma space, comma length of full name as last name from cricket players. Here the starting position will be the position of space and the length is the length of the full name. So let's execute this statement. In this way we got last name as Tendulkar, Vaughan and Lara. Now we will combine first name and last name statements and let's execute this statement. Full name column is split into first name and last name. So in this way we can get length of a string using length function and the position of any character or a substring using instr function, and with the help of substring we can extract part of a string from any given string. Find employees who joined in the last 6 months. We have employees table which has ID, name, department and hire date. To solve this problem, we will use date function which will subtract 6-month interval from the current date to get employees who joined in the last 6 months. Let's solve this using MySQL workbench. I am creating table employee and I am inserting some values in it. Let's see the table. Let's describe the table employees. It shows column name and their data types. Here for the hire date, data type is varchar. As we are going to use date function, we need to change data type of this hire date from varchar to date because all date functions are designed to work with date and time values. To ensure accurate operation, the column should have a date, date time, timestamp, or other related data type. For this, we will use alter table command, alter table employees, modify column hire date as date data type. Let's execute this statement. Now if we again describe employees table, it will show date data type. Now we can use date functions to get the output. Date sub function in MySQL is used to subtract a specified time interval from a date and return the resulting date. It is commonly used for date calculation such as finding dates in the past. Syntax is date underscore sub, date, interval, value, unit. Date specifies the starting date. Here we have to specify value to subtract, and the unit can be day, month, year. In our case, we want to get last 6 months. Therefore, I have mentioned here interval 6 month, which we will subtract from the current date to get last 6 month date. Let's execute this statement. So the date is 8th July 2024. Now this previous 6 month date is compared with higher date to get employees who has joined in last 6 months. The statement will be select everything from employees where higher date is greater than or equal to date underscore sub current date comma interval 6 month. Let's execute this statement. In the output we got employees 3 and 6 whose hire date is greater than 8th July. For employee 3 it is 22nd July, and for employee 6 it is 10th September. In this way, date sub date function is useful for finding dates in the past. Your likes in this video motivates me to create more valuable content. Please subscribe the channel, like the video and press bell notification to learn more SQL concepts.